The September total lunar eclipse is a major warning for crypto, and I'll explain very soon. So, but none of this is financial or investment advice. If you're new here, I'm Jack. I'm an engineer gone crypto astrologer. On this channel, I combine technical analysis with astrology. Ignore the spam bots in the comments below and watch this video to the end because I'll be giving crypto predictions at the end. And if we get this video to 300 likes, smash the like button. I'll make an XRP, Ethereum, and Solana videos for the month of September. Now let's look at the previous total lunar eclipses and what happened to crypto. Okay, so if we go to the Bitcoin chart historically, we take a look at the blue vertical lines. Now these blue vertical lines are when we had previous total lunar eclipses. Now this is not just any eclipse. This is specifically when the moon is opposite the sun and the earth is in the middle. So we take a look here. This is what previously happened in previous total lunar eclipses. We had a major dump. Now back in March, we started, actually back in January, Bitcoin started dumping 77 days before this total lunar eclipse. Now typically eclipses can be felt weeks and weeks in advance, if not months in advance. So that was 77 days before we already started dumping, and we almost got the exact low on the March 14th total lunar eclipse. We are heading into another eclipse on September 7th. So far, Bitcoin has already started dumping, possibly from a possible peak back here on August 13th. That would be 25 days before this eclipse. And so it is possible that there could be continued downside, but we will see. Let's see what happened with previous total lunar eclipses. All the way back here in 2000, actually, let me clean this up a little bit. If we take a look at this one back in 2021, this blue line right here, Bitcoin and crypto dumped, got a huge dump. I can zoom in a little bit, and just a massive, massive dump. Let's clean this up a little bit. Right there. All right, so we got a huge dump 18 days before, but we actually got the peak about 43 days before that total lunar eclipse. And then also in 2022, two total lunar eclipses brought a massive bear market. All right, so huge obvious downside there. Then we go back to even further back, we go to 2018, massive dump, and Bitcoin peaked, let's see, more than 24 days. Bitcoin had a peak about 44 days before that total lunar eclipse, and it had a lower high 24 days before, and then the total lunar eclipses brought a massive bear market. And we go back even further, all the way back to 2015 and 2014. These total lunar eclipses brought a massive bear market. Okay, a lot major downside. Now the good news is we're heading into two more total lunar eclipses coming up. It's a good thing it's not 4 in a row, because that could be a massive bear market. Now this time Bitcoin peaked about 130 days before that total lunar eclipse in 2014. And if we go back even further, this is interesting. This is the only time in history, in Bitcoin's history, that Bitcoin has pumped very close to the total lunar eclipse. Only 7 days before the total lunar eclipse. But then after that, we got that peak, and then after that, it just got a massive dump. So this is why I am especially concerned for Bitcoin and crypto. Now, this is one of the only times where the crypto got a little dump, or this is just Bitcoin. Bitcoin got a little dump, and it actually was able to get a relief after that total lunar eclipse. And that's arguably what we got back in this March total lunar eclipse, is we got the huge dump here, but then crypto was able to recover afterwards. So could we be heading into the end of the bull market for crypto? I cannot say that is not off the table. So there is a chance this could be the end of the bull market. The only reason I'm not feeling very strongly about that possibility is because the daily exchange volume is very low. If we look at the previous massive bull market in 2021, we got huge uptick in daily exchange volume all the way to the peak, and now it's just the exchange volume is still very low, signaling that there's not as much volume in the markets as there was in the last bull run. So, and then another indicator is the crypto apps ranking on the App Store. Is Coinbase is still quite low. If we compare it to the previous bull market, it was very, very high. It even got to the number 1 spot in May 2021 for Coinbase. And right now Coinbase is at 321. So not even close. We got, let's see, back in July, we got to 63 about there. But still not top 10. We did get, let's see, we got top 10 back in December, but we certainly did not get to the number 1 spot. So arguably with this data, retail still has still not reached euphoria, and especially since it's only at 321 ranking right now, shows that retail really is not super interested right now in crypto. There's still a lot of fear in the market. If we go to the Bitcoin fear and greed, it's at neutral right now. So there's not like extreme greed. Extreme greed historically was when Bitcoin had its market peak, like we saw back in 2021, where it was all the way up here, at the score of like 95, whereas right now it's only at 51. So still quite low for the fear and greed, which signals that we're probably not done with the bull market. So really interesting. I was thinking we would have a lot more euphoria by now, but we still haven't reached that, signaling that we could, dare I say, we could have an extended bull market either for the next few months or even well into next year. We will have to see. There is another total lunar eclipse in March, but the good news is there's also a major solar eclipse, I think an annual or solar eclipse, which can be more on the bullish side. So stay tuned, subscribe so you can get more content about possibly what we're going to see in the future for crypto, whether this is the end of the bull run or if we are going to continue an more extended run up. We can also look at what happened to Ethereum, and historically with the total lunar eclipses, and historically Ethereum leads the altcoin market, and we see that Ethereum did very similar things as Bitcoin. Is when we got these blue lines, these total lunar eclipses, the Ethereum was bottoming out, all right? Or there's a blue line over here. We got a massive dump in June 2021 with that total, actually at the end of May, with that total lunar eclipse. And then we go all the way back to 2018, major dumping, major bear market. And that was about all that we have historically for Ethereum. And when we get the last total lunar eclipse, usually the market bottoms out, and when we get total solar eclipses, the market tends to go back up with these red lines. Look at the red lines. So stay tuned for future videos and future content where I'm going to be talking about the next total solar eclipse, which can bring much more upside with price action. You look at these red lines, we get a massive bull run. All right, similar to kind of what we got last year. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so last year, we got 4 of these red lines and we just got a major bull market. Well, Ethereum didn't do extremely well, but Bitcoin did extremely well when we got these total solar eclipses. So stay tuned when I'll share where we're getting our next total solar eclipse. So this September total lunar eclipse themes that we're going to be experiencing is very, very likely what always happens with these total lunar eclipses is big changes oftentimes in our lives and in the market. So total lunar eclipses, like I just showed you, can bring major market shifts that can typically be to the downside. And on this total lunar eclipse, the moon is in Pisces and it's going to conjunct the north node within 3 degrees. Now this signals a karmic turning point. So this will likely be in our own individual lives as well as world events. And like I was saying, in the markets as well. We also get the moon is trine Jupiter within 3 degrees. This can bring opportunities for emotional growth. So, if we are going to see a big dump, that's always an opportunity for emotional growth and to stay even keeled emotionally, not let our emotions get the best of us, and not get too overly optimistic like lots of people can get at the wrong time where we could get wrong-footed. We also have, this is a big concern, Mars is squaring Jupiter on September 7th, right during this total lunar eclipse. This is a potential for excessive risk taking, which I really want to caution, and of course that can bring frustration and impulsivity and major costly mistakes. So definitely watch out for that major caution there with Mars, which can be known as a malefic planet squaring Jupiter, which could potentially bring losses. And we also have a minor grand trine. So this is very good. Very happy that we have this. Now it's really interesting. There is even a possibility that this minor grand trine with Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, which overall is bringing a long-term spiritual and technological transformation that will change the world forever. And we're already seeing that with crypto and AI. This is just the beginning. This is very long-term. And Pluto always brings change and transformation. Uranus brings technology as well as the collective awakening. And Neptune brings that deep spiritual, connecting to our spiritual wisdom. All right, so this is very positive. So since we're getting this minor grand trine, which is extremely rare, this will be the only time we see this in our lifetime, could this actually hold up the crypto market and send us to an extended bull run? Is possible, particularly because we have Uranus here, which is the planet of technology, which includes crypto, and Pluto, the planet of wealth, and they're all making positive trines and sextiles with each other, and Neptune bringing that deep spiritual growth is very good. So we will see. We will see if this could actually hold the crypto market up more than past total lunar eclipses. Now, on the monthly scale chart, we're going to get a monthly close here in 4 days. We have Bitcoin that is headed pretty far down. And this is a bit of a concern that Bitcoin, set a new all-time high, got everybody excited, and then we just got this massive selling pressure, which is definitely concerning, all the way to 112K right now. Ideally, we would want to close above this trend line, which is around 116K. Now, we could actually wind up pulling that off, so that would be very good, and it could actually flip this month into the green. But so far, we definitely got some work to do. We've already had all this selling pressure from 124K, so let's see if we can close this month above 116, which would potentially flip things more on the bullish side. Now, if we look at the total crypto market cap on the monthly scale, this is looking a little bit better than Bitcoin, so altcoins are starting to get an altcoin run. We still have seen this major selling pressure, but the monthly close is still in the green right now. So let's see if we can close this month around, 3.84 trillion. That would be the highest monthly close ever. So that would be very good for the total crypto market cap. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, we're getting major selling pressure here, which means people are selling Bitcoin into altcoins. There is actually a possibility with these arrows that we could actually head back up in September. Certainly possibility, particularly because September is not very good for the markets in general. In fact, the S&P 500, the 20-year averages does not do well in September. If you take a look at this chart here, let me make this a little bigger. The red line is the 20-year averages for the S&P 500, and typically it goes down a lot in, in September. If you look really closely, it has more downside in September. So we could get a correction in September, but it's really interesting that August, we'll have to see where the August monthly close is, if we wind up flipping the month of August to green or if it's going to stay in the red. And that'll be telling to see, like for example, if we close August in the green, then probably September is going to be red. But if we do close August in the red, maybe there could be more upside in September. I don't know. It's tricky, very, very tricky. But specifically with this total lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse coming out, definitely subscribe so you can get my video coming up on also the solar eclipse, which actually there's some concerns with that one as well, which just further confirms my estimate that we're probably going to see more downside, more correction in September. And typically, if altcoins and crypto get a correction in September, typically the Bitcoin dominance can go up because people fly into more of the safety trade, and Bitcoin is seen as much safer than altcoins. So that's why another reason why we could see the Bitcoin dominance go back up in September. We shall see. Now we're going to dive much, much deeper into the astrology on this total lunar eclipse to see if we can get any more clarity on which direction Bitcoin's going to go, which direction altcoins are going to go, as well as which direction Ethereum is going to go. So for the Bitcoin specific astrology, the ways that the planets are transiting the Bitcoin natal birth chart and the aspects that are happening there, we have the moon sextiling the Bitcoin sun within 3 degrees, so slight positive there. We also have Neptune squaring the Bitcoin Pluto, which is not so good. That could, bring a little more downside pressure. But we have Saturn sextiling the Bitcoin Jupiter, Saturn can bring slow and steady growth, and Jupiter can bring expansion. And Jupiter is trining the Bitcoin Uranus. Uranus is the planet of crypto, so that's actually pretty good. So that's why I think there's a chance we could see the Bitcoin dominance going up, and perhaps Bitcoin could be holding up stronger than a lot of the altcoins, because usually when we get a correction, the altcoins get hit much harder than Bitcoin. We also have Saturn. Okay, so this is for the specific Bitcoin BlackRock ETF. This is the IBIT. And when we look at the astrology chart for IBIT, we have Saturn sextiling the IBIT Pluto, which is positive. And then we have Jupiter sextiling the IBIT Uranus. So we get 2 positive transits on this total lunar eclipse, further confirming that Bitcoin could be holding up a bit better, perhaps, than Ethereum and the altcoins. Now, let's take a look at Ethereum astrology, as Ethereum typically leads the altcoins. We have Mars opposing the Ethereum Uranus, which could bring heightened volatility. So that's a concern there. This opposition can bring major swings in the market, and it could be to the downside. And the reason I say that is because we also have, with the Ethereum BlackRock ETF, September 3rd, major concern because we have Saturn conjunct the ETHA Neptune. Typically, when Saturn conjuncts birth charts Neptune, this can bring a lot of hard lessons in reality. It can bring a lot of contraction. It can bring big dumps. And Neptune can bring a lot of confusion in the market, and markets do not like confusion. So huge concern there. I think we could definitely see a correction for Ethereum heading right here in the beginning of September, especially on September 3rd, could get a big correction. September 6th, we have Jupiter trining the ETHA Saturn, which is nice. That's definitely positive. Minor positive. And we have Neptune trining the ETHA Sun, which could even mark a local peak. But with that Saturn conjunct the ETHA Neptune, I'm thinking we could get a correction around September 3rd, probably even before that, because it is actually already in orb. It's already within a few degrees. So we're already starting to see arguably a correction for Ethereum. We'll see if Ethereum can top out at the end of August and then get a correction, or if it's already started the correction. We shall see. But that's a major, major red flag on September 3rd for Ethereum. Now, this is the Mars transits. And historically, when Mars is in the sign of Libra, you look at this red arrow. This is the Mars traveling through the zodiac. We have the red line is Aries, then the green line is Taurus, the blue line is Gemini, etc., etc. Typically for Bitcoin, when Mars is in Libra right now, and it will be towards about September 21st, I believe, the Bitcoin does pretty well. And, I warned you guys about when Bitcoin was in Cancer last year and crypto did not do super great. And then I told you when Mars was in Virgo from July to August, and we got a major run up. And historically, Mars does very well in Virgo. So it still does quite well in Libra. So that could actually, once again, could be a little bit upside, holding the price of Bitcoin up. I still think Bitcoin's going to have a correction probably in September, but maybe not as much as altcoins. And then the Bitcoin seasonality. So historically, September is the worst month for Bitcoin out of all the months. So this is just another indicator that, man, we're probably going to see downside in September. And we have the Fed funds rate decision on September 17th. Currently, there's a pretty high chance that they're going to cut rates, but who knows? If that changes, we could see a major dump. If they continue to pause rates, then the markets are not going to like that. This is near the solar eclipse on the 21st, where we're getting the eclipse opposing Saturn and Neptune. This can bring tough lessons in reality, can bring confusion to the markets. So it's not looking like super great astrology. September 17th, or that Fed funds rate decision. We shall see. And definitely subscribe if you haven't already to receive critical crypto and astrology updates. It's the number one thing you can do to support this channel. All you got to do, just click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for me putting out all this free content. Really appreciate it. And a quick announcement is we have the Crypto Astro Awakening Retreat coming up November 1st through 7th, a transformational retreat for crypto investors. Now I'll explain specifically why it's happening November 1st through 7th, as I did that very consciously. This retreat is for you if you aim to maximize your profits towards the market peak. In the last bull market, so many people, as well as the YouTube influencers, were screaming that crypto was just going to continue to go up. We're going to see an extended bull market. And what happened at the end of 2021? We saw a massive market dump, and very, very few people were able to call that market top. And most people were staying euphoric at the market peak, and people saw all of their hard-earned gains lost in the next few months when we saw a massive dump in 2022, starting a massive bear market, and we heading into the FTX collapse and the Luna collapse. All right, so you don't want to lose all of your hard-earned gains. So join me to perfect your crypto profit-taking strategy so that you can secure those profits, change your life permanently, and succeed. This is for you if you believe crypto can be a part of building an abundant, decentralized new world. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this in future videos, talking about my vision of sustainable communities that are sprouting up all over the world. It's already happening right now. I know so many people who are buying land, who are creating more sustainable ways of living, sustainable housing, permaculture, growing our own food, being next to fresh water, and learning how to live sustainable together. And it is possible. I know it's possible, and I know this is going to be the future. And I'm in the building process of building governance systems, DAOs, and ways that we can use crypto and blockchain to create this amazing future of decentralized communities around the world. All right, so you'll want to join a soul-aligned investor community in paradise. We're going to be doing this on the beautiful island of Bali. So come join me. You are not going to want to miss this life-changing experience and secure epic gains for you and your portfolio. By November 2025, we could see one of the biggest crypto bull runs in history. Things are looking better and better and better the more I look into the astrology in November for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for altcoins, and specifically with the macro markets as well, with charts from Raoul Pal. Things are looking very good towards the end of this year. So this retreat is perfectly timed for you to maximize your profits towards the market peak, secure those gains, don't make any major costly mistakes. What you'll get is arguably over $10,000 in value. The art of crypto astrology, learn the hidden timing tools to optimize your profit-taking windows. An expert guest astrology teacher. I'm going to have Gary show up again for this retreat. You'll get insider forecasts for 2025, 2026, and crypto peak profit sessions with me so you can learn to maximize your wealth potential in this rare window of opportunity. This will include yoga, meditation, and sound healings to reset your nervous system for clarity and peace. So if you're looking for that deep spiritual type experiences, you're going to love this. You'll get nourishing gourmet meals. The food in Bali is absolutely incredible. There's plenty of options for healthy, delicious food prepared with love. Sacred spring water baths. We're going to go to this amazing location at this incredible resort right on the river with sacred spring water that we're going to be cleansing in. We're going to be swimming in, bathing in, and this will cleanse your spirit in Bali's crystalline waters. An optional healing session with a traditional Balinese healer. This was the highlight of the last retreat last year, where I had many attendees and they were raving about the sessions that they got with this Balinese healer. Absolutely incredible, life-changing, once-in-a-lifetime type experience. There will also be optional channeling and spiritual guidance from me and my wife. You'll gain insight from trusted psychic practitioners. All right, and what you'll get is excursions to Bali's most magical sites, waterfalls, temples, and cultural adventures. You'll also get group calls with me before the retreat to get grounded in your strategy and purpose before you arrive. And so this is a limited time early bird offer. This expires in 4 days from now, August 31st, right at the end of the month. All of this is, arguably you can't even put a number on this. We could just say it's more than $10,000 in value. Today's price, only $5,000. But I'm gonna slash that out. And today you can get started with only one $150 deposit to save your spot before August 31st. And you will secure your spot. And you can click the link below to get all of the information. There's only 5 more spots left, so jump on this now, sooner rather than later if you feel called. Register now to claim your spot and ride 2025 with clarity, strategy, and soul. All right, so the Bitcoin predictions, the moment you've been waiting for. We could see, like I was saying, a big correction and at least a consolidation for Bitcoin and probably a big correction for altcoins, bringing a major market shift. Share this video with a friend or family member who would resonate with this content. And once again, number one thing you can do to support this channel is subscribe. So just click that subscribe button and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, everybody. I'll talk to you very, very soon.